What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's the dude, Fade Count here, back with another video. In today's video, we are going to be checking out a car dealership. Now, as a car guy, I'm sure you can relate if you are one as well. You catch yourself going on websites, dealership websites, and looking at what's for sale, what kind of cars are out there on the market. Even if you're not in the market for a car, because, well, let's be honest, you're always in the market for a car. So this one I've been looking at for a while now. I've been wanting to check it out. They have some really cool cars there. Their inventory is not all exotics. It's not all Lamborghinis and Ferraris. I don't care about all that. There might be a Lamborghini or two, but that is not what we are going for. Their inventory is more muscle cars, a little bit older cars, just some really cool cars. I've been wanting to go for a while, so we're gonna go there right now. I'm gonna take you along. Let me know which car is your favorite. We're gonna talk about some of the cars there, see what this place is about, and that's basically it. So if you guys like the video, hit that like button. If you like cars, sim drifting, all that stuff, hit the subscribe button. We just hit 230 subscribers, which is really cool. I appreciate everyone who watches the videos. Let's run that up to 250. That is the next milestone. With all that being said, let's go. I'll see you there. All right, guys, so we have made it to Diamond Motorworks. That is where we are, Diamond Motorworks in Lisle, Illinois. I can tell right now it's a cool little place. I could already see cars in the dealership. Got a Cobra right there, like a 19, I don't know, something. But I've never filmed in a dealership before, so I don't know how this is gonna go. But we're gonna go inside, check out some cool cars. I'm telling you, one day I will make a video. I will buy a car from a dealership like this, maybe even this dealership, I'm not sure. But one day we'll make a video of me buying a car. But for right now, enjoy the cars. Let's talk about them. Let's see what they have. Let's go inside and I'll see you in a bit. This is a car dealership. This is how a car dealership should be. Some real cars, not all Lamborghinis, not all Ferraris, not all exotics. This is probably one of the coolest dealerships I've ever been to. Seeing all these cars in person, it changes your perspective on a lot of cars, I will say. So let's go through some of these cars, talk about them. As you walk in, you are hit immediately with these Supras. The good Supras, the older ones. This white one is insane. We have some HRE wheels. This is an interior. You don't need all the gadgets. Basic interior, stick shift of course. These new Supras that are out here, I don't know what they've done, but they are trash. This is a real Supra right here. Beautiful car. I can see why people want them so bad. Super nice HRE wheels. Very expensive wheel. Let's see, what size are these tires? Some 305 tires, ginormous. Next to it, you have the black Supra, a little bit older wheels, classic stock wheels. The black and gold looks really nice. Stock exhaust. So this one seems like it's a lot more stock, which is still really nice. Interior seems a little more fancy. Still a stick shift, of course. The old Supras are beautiful. I can see why people love them so much. There are some cars that I've never really liked, but seeing them in person, I might like them a little bit more. Got the GT3 Touring. You know, I don't like Porsches. Excuse me, it might bring some hate to the channel and people, but I never liked Porsches. I don't see the big deal with them. Like, yes, they're very expensive. They look all right, but I'm sure they're great when you drive them. I've never driven one, but I don't like Porsches. However, the 911 GT3 RS, the 997, those were pretty cool. They looked really nice. Huge wing on the back of them. The flat six sounded really good. Manual transmission, of course. It was basically like driving a race car on the road. Those were really cool. That is one of the only Porsches I enjoy, I like. Other than that, I'm not a Porsche guy. Never will be, never have been. And for the money you spend on one, in my opinion, there are much better cars that you can buy for that price. And then right here, you have one of my favorite Ferraris ever, the Ferrari 360 Modena. Back to Bam Margera when he had one, back in like the Viva La Bam era. I've been in one of these, and as you see, it's got a stick shift. Not only was this a manual transmission, but it was a gated manual transmission. A gated manual transmission was much better because it was much cleaner, the shifts were much more crisp, you could feel like you were driving the car a little bit more, a much better driving experience, and actually they were technically a safety feature because they wanted to make sure that you can shift these cars without misshifting, breaking the transmission, and overall just having a much better, clean, fun driving experience. This is a car I would love. I'm not a big Ferrari, Lamborghini guy, but this right here, this is a Ferrari. 360 Modena, one of the best Ferraris ever produced. It might not be the best looking Ferrari. I think it looks pretty cool, but the fact that it's a stick shift, it's just one of the best Ferraris. Got the R8. I could do without. I'm not a big fan of R8s. I don't like them very much. Then this is insane. This old Corvette drag car. Look at those things. Holy. Then you come over here. Of course, you got the side exhaust. Look at this.
Look at that.
Yeah, well.
Would you look at that?
Look how big this blower is. I wonder how much this is. Insane. All right, you got this M4. You know, once again, I'm not a big BMW guy. I don't really like one. I would never buy one. Really, genuinely, I would never buy one. The seats look cool. You know, you got some nice race seats, but I don't see the big hype. I don't like BMWs. However, I can definitely appreciate the fact that it was a manual, and they do make manual BMWs. They are not all automatics. They do not all have paddle shifters. I appreciate that. Besides that, not a BMW guy. Another R8, Aston Martin. This one's pretty sick. I like the color. Red is my favorite color, and the Scorpus Red looked absolutely stunning. The wheels, I've never really been a big Aston Martin guy either. Supra, like I said, these trash. Those, much better. I don't get these. I don't think they're that great. Looked horrible, no manual transmission, and it was basically just a BMW in a Supra shell. On top of that, the price tag for these cars, there were much better cars, such as the GT350, that you can buy for that price. I'm gonna pass on that. Now right here, the classic S2K. Beautiful car. These are really cool. Of course, you got the stick shift, nice convertible. These cars were usually seen a lot with convertibles. I would take this over a new Supra any day, especially with an LS or Coyote swap. Brand new Shelby, which these were cool, but they never came in stick shifts, so automatically I'm not gonna ever buy one. I would never want one. Especially for that price. For the same price, you can buy a 2013 or 14 GT500 or even a GT350R, use the leftover money, buy parts, long tube headers, full suspension, you have a manual transmission, they sound a lot better, they look a lot better, and they are going to be just as fast, if not faster, than these. And if you really need a supercharger, that's another reason to stay with the 1314 GT500. Buy an upgraded supercharger, buy a Whipple, buy a Kenny Bell, buy a VMP. There's a lot of different options out there. They are very expensive, so you will use the leftover money for that. Or just buy a GT350R, supercharge it, and there you go. I don't care how much power. If you really want this because of the engine swap it, put it in a different body like the 1314, which you don't even need this engine because the 1314 GT500s are probably one of the best, if not the best Shelby ever produced. You have a nice Acura NSX, very cool color. What is this? An old Mitsubishi 3300ZX? I'm not too familiar with this car, I'm not gonna lie. Got the blue ZL1. Like I said, I'm a Mustang guy, but maybe one day I would see myself in this. Let me know if you guys like these I've never really been a big Camaro guy, especially because of blind spots. Also, this one's automatic, so automatically it's gonna be a pass for me. Still really nice looking. I love this blue. But I'm gonna pass. Now right here, GT350R. This is a dream car for sure. This is probably one of the only newer body style cars of the Mustang I would ever consider and want. This is definitely a dream car right here. Just a really mean looking Mustang. The Voodoo engines sound amazing. The RPMs are very high. Of course, you got the stick shift. Interior is pretty nice as well. I'm not too big of a fan of the dashboard, but besides that, beautiful car. These tires are nice, the wheels are nice. It's just a really good looking car. Another old Supra. This one looks pretty stock as well. You got the Stingray Corvette. These are cool. I like Stingrays. I'm not a big fan of the convertible, but it's a manual, so of course that's gonna be what we're looking for. You know, one thing I'll say, I've always liked the Corvette steering wheels. The material on them, the way they're shaped, they look pretty cool. I like them. Power-wise, these make a lot of power. You know, I'm not a big fan of the vents too much, and honestly, I think Mustangs still look better than a lot of the Corvettes. I really like these. I'm not a big fan of the taillights. I'm actually gonna make a video of taillights. I'll get into that when that video's out, but these taillights are decent. I'm not a huge fan of them, but the back of this is really nice. Still a dream car. Love the GT350s and the GT350Rs. Beautiful car. One day we will have one. Don't know when, probably not tonight, probably not tomorrow, but one day this GT350 will be mine. Come over here to the Catfish. Nice little Camaro SS. What is this, like a 2002 maybe? This was a manual transmission and it only had 1,161 miles. That is what makes this an even cooler find. 1999, 2001, 2002, something in that era. Got another S2000. This one looks a little cleaner than the other one, but this is pretty nice as well. Some Challengers, another Camaro, Challenger, Catfish. And then over there, can't really see it too well, but that's a 0304 Z06 Corvette. Another dream car. Those are really cool. Even for the year, they made a lot of power for what they were. About 405 horsepower. Pretty cool. The blue was standard on a lot of them. That was a pretty noted color for that car. I have a really good friend and she loves these. This is one of her dream cars. Shout out to Aria. But you know, in person I can see why this particular Aston Martin is pretty nice. You know, I don't like that it's an automatic, of course, but they look pretty good. The back of them are pretty mean. They come out almost like a wide body. It's a good color. I can see why people like them so much. We have the ZL1 Camaro. Really cool Camaro. Once again, though, the blind spots on these were not very good. A little different than the Z28s. The Z28s were more track orientated, while the ZL1s were more street and I believe drag oriented. I could be wrong, but stick shift, of course. Nice interior on these. The blind spots were just really bad. Some huge 325 tires in the back, all blacked out. This one looks pretty good. Brother, cousin, whatever you want to call it, the Z28. More of the track car. I guess you can consider this the big brother of the ZL1. Technically, the Z28 was the little brother of the ZL1. The Z28 had a 7-liter naturally aspirated V8 engine, while the ZL1 had a 6.2-liter supercharged V8 engine. They were both a little bit different. The Z28 was definitely more of a track-ready car, while the ZL1 was more of a street and drag car. But this was more of a track car, a little bit different wheels, all murdered out. Bucket seats, stick shift, of course, a little bit different steering wheel. I don't like the clusters on these. I will say I do not like the clusters. They don't look very good in my opinion. Obviously, you're not buying these cars for the interior. These were more race cars, of course. Taillights I could do without as well. I do not like the back of these cars, but overall it's a decent looking car. I'd still take the Supra over this, believe it or not. A lot of these cars are pushing 650, 600 plus horsepower, so you're not buying them for the interior. My dream car, once again, the GT350R. I like these without stripes. I don't think stripes look that great. I think they're a little bit tacky. But this GT350R, all white, black wheels, no stripe, this is nice. The one over there with the blue stripe, that looks good too, but I would still take this one over that. GT350R, Recaro seats, stick shift. I like that it has the line right there so you can tell, you know, where it's at. Those are actually really good as well if you ever drift a car. Helps a lot with that. The black and white combo looks pretty good. I like the emblem right here too. That Shelby GT350 emblem, super nice. Once again, the Voodoo engines sound amazing. They rev really high. One of the dreams right here. So this one's pretty cool as well. This is a CLK 63 AMG. A little bit different than the C63s. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too familiar with Mercedes-Benz. I've never been a big Mercedes guy. The C63 AMGs I like a lot. And honestly, the CLK 63 is pretty nice as well. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that the CLK was a little bit more race orientated based on the way the body looks, the steering wheel, the seats. These almost look like the old C6 Z06, or not C6, sorry. The old C5 Z06s, like the 03, 04 seats. Really interesting. Look how small that is. It's kind of funny. It's actually kind of funny how small that lever is. You know, it's a shame that these were never manual transmissions. I don't believe that the C63 was ever a manual as well. I wish that they would make these luxury fast V8 race cars into stick shifts. Now I get it. Oh, my automatic's faster, blah, blah, blah. But if you know, you know, stick shifts are the way to go. That's why you buy a lot of cars for the stick shift. Comment that down below if you agree. Kind of like a wide body. Really interesting back. There's not really seats. Interesting. I've never seen something like that before. So I'm going to go ahead and say the CLK was a little bit more race orientated. It's still a 6.3 liter V8, of course, because V8s are the best. Pretty nice. These definitely look more sporty, I will say. Definitely looks a little bit more race orientated. Pretty cool. Then we have another S2K. They have a lot of S2Ks here. Let's see, they have 1, 2, I believe I saw a few over there, one over there. So if you're looking for an S2K, check out this place. They have a lot. All convertibles, it looks like. All same color, gray. Manuals, of course. S2Ks are cool though. You don't see too many of them on the road these days, unfortunately. If you do, they're usually low miles, which is nice. Oh, this one has a nice red interior. Check that out. That is cool. I like that. Stick shift again, of course. I don't know if these ever even came in autos. They probably did. Excuse my ignorance, but some S2K is really nice. Then you have a C7 Grand Sport Corvette, almost like a red, white, and blue American color. Another dream car. I love the C7s. As you know, I hate the C8s. If you have not checked out that video of why I hate the C8s, I'll put that somewhere up here. But C7 can definitely use a little bit of a suspension mod, maybe lower the car a bit. And this one is unfortunately automatic. You know how I feel about automatics. But overall, pretty cool car. Then right here, you have the old, what is this, 03, 04 Z06. They made 405 horsepower. For that year, that was pretty good. Now, they were the big competitors of the 03, 04 Cobras. Personally, I would take a Cobra over the Z06, but they were both really cool. It's that rivalry, Corvette versus Mustang, that will always be there, just like the Mustang versus Camaro. Nice interior, pretty basic, but once again, you weren't buying these cars for the interior. And even in 2024, this interior is still, I would take over a lot of the new interiors. But these are really cool, a lot of power, these made for the year. And you have the Acura NSX. I'm not sure what year this is. I'm a little ignorant with Acuras and NSX, I'm not gonna lie. If you guys know what year this would be, write that in the comments below. Pretty decent back, interesting. Almost reminds me of like a Saline S7 back when those were really popular, and you don't see those at all anymore, but well, that's most likely because they are very rare and they are also around $700,000. Had a very similar back end to the NSX. I like the interior of these, almost like the basic luxury type of older interior. Stick shift, which was really cool. Nice basic interior, basic cluster, basic steering wheel. This is something, you know, I've never been an NSX guy, but potentially, maybe. I'd have to drive one and really see why people like these so much. However, for the way that it looks, I'd probably go with the Saline S7 personally. Now, before I start hearing it in the comments, I am very aware that these are two completely different cars. I am saying this based on looks. The Saline S7 looks similar to the Acura NSX of this year. I understand that the Saline S7 was a whole different monster, 550 horsepower, 560 foot-pounds of torque for the original S7, 750 horsepower and 700 foot-pounds of torque for the twin-turbo version, and 1,300 horsepower on pump gas and 1,500 horsepower on E85 for the Saline S7 LM. Whole nother monster, a lot more expensive, but I am simply saying this based on the looks of the two cars. Those are really cool. But here's an NSX. I just learned a lot about this car actually from a guy who's here. So apparently this car is very rare. A lot of you guys might know more about these than I do, and I'm okay to admit that, but this car is very rare. The color, I guess, was called a Mola Orange, if I'm saying that right. Comment that down below. But these were very rare. He also showed me that when you open the door on these cars, it'll show the production number. I believe he said this is number 90. So very rare car. Like I said, I've never driven one. He was saying that they really are good driving cars. The value of these will always go up and they won't go down because of how rare they are. So pretty cool. We're at the last section of the dealership. I'll go over here. We have a nice Porsche GT3. Once again, it is nice to see that this is a manual transmission. It's not the RS. Beautiful color, I will say. This is a very nice blue. I like the seats a lot too. These seats are really cool. Oh, what's up? How you doing? Pretty cool. Like I said, I'm not a big Porsche guy. I know people love these. They're sought after like crazy. The GT3, GT2, GT3 RS. It's an interesting car, you know. It's not ugly by any means, but personally, for the price I pay, I'm gonna have something else. Maybe if I drove one, I would be able to see why people love these so much more than I do, but beautiful color, I will say. Then we have this Lamborghini. Once again, I'm not a big Lamborghini guy. I don't like how this looks. These rear louvers with the way that the back end looks, this is one of the ugliest back ends of a car I've ever seen in my whole entire life. I would never pay $500-some thousand for a car that looks like this. I get it, Lamborghini, big power, blah, blah, blah. Hideous, ugly, what are you doing? And yes, I know people aren't always buying Lamborghinis for looks. They are, but they aren't. Obviously, these have a lot of power, but it's cool, you know, big, big wheels, nice red color. You know, interior is just basic Lamborghini interior. Very small front end. I'm not sure if this is a Aventador. No, it's not an Aventador. So I'm not even sure what kind of Lamborghini this is because I'm not a big Lamborghini guy. Oh, it is an Aventador. I was right, Aventador. $558,000 for one of the ugliest Lamborghinis I have ever seen in my life. It has a nice color, but besides that, this is disgusting. I think it's a special type of Aventador. So that's pretty cool. I would never buy one, but hey, to each their own. Comment down below why you like Lamborghinis so much. If you like Lamborghinis, I don't get it. The Lamborghini Urus is pretty cool, especially for an SUV. If a Lamborghini has an underground racing twin turbo setup that's making 2,000 to 3,000 plus horsepower, sure, that would be a pretty cool Lamborghini. Or if the Lamborghini has a manual transmission, that would be pretty cool as well. Other than that, I do not like Lamborghinis. I don't understand why people like them so much. Comment that down below. Why do you like Lamborghinis? What is the big deal about Lamborghinis besides the power it makes? Even with an aftermarket exhaust on a V12 Lamborghini, I feel like Corvettes, Mustangs, you put long tube headers on there, catless, those sound so much better than Lamborghinis. Even a 4-rotor, a 6-rotor, straight piped, no cats, those sound so much better than Lamborghinis. I don't get it. I don't get it. The last thing I'll say about Lamborghinis is, hey, if you can afford one, awesome. Good on you. In my opinion, you bought the wrong car. I've been in Lamborghinis. I've been in Ferraris. I know what they feel like with the acceleration. I know what they sound like. It's cool, but I think it's overhyped. Please comment down below what makes these cars so special to you. I don't get it. Is it the looks? Is it the power? Is it the value? Is it all of those? Is it the fact that to buy one, you have to have a lot of money? I don't understand. Comment that down below. I'd even rather have these Supras than a Lamborghini. We got 4 Supras up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All classic, nice Supras, not the new ones. Right here you got 2 of the Demon Challengers, the red eye Hellcats. I'm pretty sure these were the Demon 1000s. I could be wrong. Not a big Challenger Dodge guy besides the Vipers, but there's just something about these back tires that are insane. Like, that's a crazy back tire. I know these are crazy cars, so very cool. Oh no, we got a dark horse. I love that these have the Coyote engine in them, of course, and that they are manual transmissions. However, I cannot get over the look of these. I think they look really ugly. Nothing like my favorite generation. Comment down below if you like these, why you like them. Once again, for $65,000, I can buy a 2013-14 GT500, make more power, have a better looking car. I can even buy a 13-14 GT, use some money, buy some parts, and there's a lot of other cars for that price that other people would like, and I feel like are much better than the Dark Horse. We're just gonna not even talk about this. I don't care. I don't care. I'm a Mustang guy, but I don't care. Not a big fan of the Dark Horses. More BMWs, another BMW, and another Supra. Another Grand Sport. One of my dream cars once again. Not a convertible. I don't want a convertible ever. Stick shift, of course. This is pretty cool. I will take this over a Dark Horse or a Demon 1000 any day. Then we have a Challenger Demon. Not a Demon, I'm sorry, a Hellcat. Just a regular Hellcat, SRT Hellcat. Once again, I like the interior, but I would never buy one of these. It's just a boat. Power to weight ratio, even, they make power, but they're so big and they're really not that attractive. I just saw these two red S2Ks. One of my favorite colors. Convertibles as well. These are nice. These are really nice. I would take these any day. Another red S2K. Oh, and then look at this. Wow, I didn't even see this. Look at this.
Look at this. Yeah, well. Would you look at that?
This is cool. This is one of the coolest Cobras. If you know this car, you know this car. This is what, a ACR Cobra. You see a lot of replicas of these, but if these are real, these have some power. Very cool cars. Huge wheel, huge tire. Nice little side exhaust, almost like the older Corvettes actually, but still really cool. The last part of the dealership, we got another Demon right here, another ZL1. Beautiful red color. We already talked about the ZL1 over there, but this is really nice. Nice color. Got some carbon fiber on the top. I like this a lot. The wheels look a little bit different. Different tires. 305 still. Super nice interior without the blind spots though, and the clusters. We talked about that. I don't like that. Ooh, look at this. An older Supra with the engine out. Now that's what's up. The two JZ engines that were in these Supras are legendary engines. You put a big turbo on there, add some anti-lag, put a full through exhaust, no cats, and the neighbors are going to think that you have a machine gun. On top of the extremely insane noise, put the right parts on, and these engines made a lot of power for the small displacement that they were. Older Z4M, I believe that's a Z4. Supra, is that a Supra? Come to this place, Diamond Motorworks, really cool. So they have an outdoor lot as well, some cars out here. We'll check it out real quick. And out of all the cars in there, I think I would still go with the GT350. Every car in there is really cool. Well, besides like the R8s, I don't like those, but I would still go GT350. That would be the car I would buy if I could buy a car today. But let's go check these out real quick and we will finish this up. Then we have these, which are really nice. Some older SVT Cobras. Now, I'm not sure off the top of my head the year difference, because obviously there's different taillights. I know I'm the Mustang guy, but excuse the ignorance. Look at that interior. Look at those seats. That is an interesting seat color. Nice, nice. And then we have the leather over here. Both really cool. Personally, I would take the white. It's more muscle looking. This one's more kind of... Could just be the wheels too, but honestly, now even the hood, more of like a cowl hood setup versus one of these. I would take the white one. All right, last one. Now this is cool, an old Ford Bronco. These just look so cool to me. I don't know, I've always loved Ford Broncos, and it's a stick shift. Now this is cool. I would take one of these for sure. These are really cool. The front of them were really nice. They were stick shifts, off-road looking. The wheels were even pretty cool. Almost reminds me of Steely's, like an old Steely wheel. These were cool. The steering wheel is pretty cool. I like these a lot. All right, so that concludes our time at Diamond Motorworks here in Lisle, Illinois. Really cool place. Awesome showroom. The vehicles were really nice, the cars. Pretty cool people that worked here, very nice. Learned a lot about some cars I didn't know about. Still hate Audis, still hate R8s, don't ever want one. But I learned a lot about some of these cars too, like the NSX. Didn't realize how rare they were, that color. Also that CLK 63 AMG. The back seats were actually for weight reduction. They're not seats. I sound dumb, but they were not seats. But really cool. Overall, awesome experience. If you guys are in the market for a car, come down to Diamond Motorworks. I am not associated with this place, so it's not sponsored. But genuinely a really cool place, really cool cars. And that's the video. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you like the channel, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate anyone who has watched the video all the way through. It means a lot. We're gonna just keep running up the channel. More sim racing on the way, more sim drifting, more videos like this if you guys like it. And yeah, with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment down below also what your favorite car was in that dealership, what kind of car you like. I'm curious. Let me know. All right, I'll see you guys next time.